Hey everybody, welcome. Hang on a second. Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me. All right, welcome to Wednesday night live. Tonight we're going to be talking some more radio communications type of stuff. Well, not so much radio, but communications. Let's see who we got in the house. Starla and Terminator are in the house tonight. If you're here watching, go ahead and let us know that you're here. Len says 5x5. Dusty Rhodes, how's it going? All right, so if you missed it, the last preparedness video, we talked about building a community emergency communications plan and went over the basic steps and components of it. Tonight, we're going to talk specifically about one component of your communications plan. And it's an individual family type of thing, but it fits into the overall scheme of the community because it brings all that information together. And I put a link down below if you're on YouTube to that video, so you can go back and watch it if it's your first time here. And if it is your first time here, welcome. If you like this type of content, go ahead and think about subscribing once the video is done. See it all the way through. I got a question for you before we start, though. What do you guys think about that intro for a prepping video? You think I ought to sort of mix it up and make another intro video for something that's more prepping and preparedness related versus the homestead side of the house? I don't know. I was debating it yesterday, and I was just wondering what everybody thought. I didn't say hi. Showed Echo, welcome aboard. It's been a busy week, and this weekend, as we said last night in the live update, communications came into play, and it's very important, and it just drove home to us the need for a communications plan for your family and for your community. And tonight, what we're going to talk about is building a family communications inventory. And it's just a simple worksheet that you can put together for your family and yourself. And that way, if an emergency happens, everybody's on the same page and everybody's pointing in the same direction and communicating. Lucy, I'm doing fine, thank you. It happens. Life happens, and we're not defined by what happens to us, but how we respond to it. And then I chose to respond in the proper way and make this a learning experience and growing out of it. Tambra's in the house. Tambra's here. Kissoff's here. Welcome, welcome. As I was saying, we're gonna look at a family inventory. All right, let me pull this up. Where is it? Can you guys see that? Give me a 1 in the chat if that's big enough for you guys to see. Might be a little hard to see on a phone. And if I need to go full screen, let me know, because I want you guys to see this inventory sheet. And basically all it is, it's a way to gather all the pertinent information for your communications plan in one place that you can share with not only your family, but with your friends and your community. All right, let's talk about the sheet. There you go. You guys, that's probably a little bit easier to see. All right, let's talk about the sheet itself. Let's look up here. First, we've got the family name and the date completed. Why this is important is because you want to be able to know who it belongs to if you're sharing it with the community. And the date completed is important because you want to be able to know when you need to go back and relook at it. This is something that always changes. This inventory is not you do it once and forget about it. You need to update it. Choose a set standard of time, a set time period to go through and re-inventory and update where it needs to be. All right. The next portion, we've got section 1. Section 1 is communication needs. I'm sorry, it's family communication needs. I was expecting something else in there. Okay, so the first part of this is we're looking at how many household members we have. We need to list the names and age and the location during the day. And when they say the location during the day, what they mean is, are you at work? Are you at school? Where are you? Right? That way, if something happens during the day, because that's when most people are going to be away from home, people know where to contact you and where you're located. The second section is primary contacts. You need to identify 2 people outside the immediate family uh, members that you can contact to relay information. And you notice there's more than two lines there. The reason I put more than 2 lines is because if you've got a bigger community, um, it might be pertinent to have more people on that list that you can contact. Okay, we got any questions so far? It's pretty straightforward. I don't expect there's a lot of questions about this because it's all pretty common sense stuff here. All right, we're going to move on to the next section. The next section is communication devices inventory. Now, this is the section where you list all the communications devices you have. I don't know if you remember, if you were here last week and you watched the video or the live last week. You've got your primary communications, you've got your secondary communications, and then you've got your backup communications. And this is where you list those. And you don't have to list them in any specific order. Uh, the first one is the primary communication devices, and this is where you list all your main forms of communications. And I already put in, where is it? I already put in the radio line for GRMS, FRS, and the cell phone line, because those are the 2 most commonly used pieces of gear that you're going to communicate with on a daily basis. Tamara says, what if no one close to you cares about you? Well, Tamara, you talk to your extended family. You've got online friends that can help you communicate, and that's a good reason to try to build community where you are. And they don't have to be super close. They just have to be somebody that's like-minded that you can call and in case there's an emergency to relay information. And we should always be building up our community. Hey, Hogs, how's it going? All right, the next part of section 2, well, you got your primary communications, and then you've got your backup communications. Remember, your backup communications can be different types of electronic gear. It can also be a runner. This one is built specifically for communication devices. And if you look on this list, you've got several columns here. You've got the device type, you've got the brand or model, you've got the frequency channel. So in this, like on this line on the GRMS and FRS, you would put whatever your primary communications channel is, and then you've got your power source. Most likely it's going to be a battery, but I've got radios here at the house that run off of a wall outlet. So that would be, my ham radios right now, the main ones run off a wall outlet. And then where they're located. We want to be able to find these things in time of emergency. We don't want something to happen and then go, oh my gosh, where did I put this stuff? Right? We want to be able to know exactly where they are. Okay, moving on. Look at that. We're already down to section 3, man. You guys are picking this up. You're knocking it out of the park. You guys don't have any questions, and you actually make me feel good about this. Hi, G Homestead. How's it going? All right, the next section. This is where we start getting a little bit more detailed. Section 3 is communication protocols. All right, the first section here. The section, where is it? Uh-oh, mouse is acting up. Let's see here. Get back up here. The first section is communications check-in times. Set up specific times. Set up specific times for regular check-ins with each household members to contact. All right, what that means is we're going to set up in case of emergency, we're going to set up a standard time that we check in with family members. We're going to list the device that's used, and we're going to list the primary contact. So who is the person that we're going to call? We're going to remember we talked about naming key members of the communications team. This is your primary contact here, okay? The second section here is emergency codes and phrases. Come on. Create a few simple codes to communicate situations quickly. And you've got code phrases. The two columns are code phrase and meaning. And I put some generic ones in there. So like code phrase, all clear. Everyone is safe. No immediate danger. Need help. Request for assistance, but not life-threatening. And then immediate aid, life-threatening situation, needs urgent help. Now these are important because one of the things that will break communications down the quickest is if there's a lot of information that is unnecessary flowing back and forth. That's one of the reasons whenever you do a net, you've got the net controller, and then they call a check-in, and everybody concisely says, so-and-so checking in, so-and-so checking in. And once everybody's checked in, they'll go back and ask for situation reports, right? Unless there's an immediate need, then somebody can break into the net and ask. Dusty, yes, they are available. I go to the community page from yesterday, which would have been the 10th, and I put 2 Google Docs out there. One for last week's presentation and one for this one. The one that is available for download off of Google Docs is actually a Word spreadsheet or a Word document, because it would not let me attach a Excel sheet. So you just got to print it off. You can do that. I made it. If you print it off one-sided, you've got the back side to make notes and put more information on. Heidi says, if you see a flag in front of my house flying upside down, it's bad. Yes, a lot of people don't know that. There's actually protocol on that. So if an individual is flying a flag upside down, it means personal. What's the phrase it uses? Like somebody's in personal danger. There's a personal thing going on. There's another way. There's another one for, like, if the black flag is for the country being in danger. All right. So if you see that, be careful, because a lot of people don't know the difference. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know the difference till about a year ago whenever Hacks told me about it. Yes, distress. That's the word I'm looking for. Going back to the previous section. While traveling, can you check into a net when you're not a member? I have not run across a single club that will deny people from checking into a net. What they will do is they will open the net, then they'll request check-ins from people with emergencies, then members of the club, and then people that are not members of the club. So you might have to wait in line in order to get on there and talk on the net. But yes, they will let you in. That I've never seen one that will not let people onto their net. Okay, the next section 4, and you can come up with your own code phrases and meanings. It's all up to you. All right. Section 4, communication frequencies and channels. Remember last week we were talking about the communications plan and setting up primary frequencies that we talk on. This is where you list it. So, and I only put the 3 lines there because those are the main ones people are going to use. Again, go on the back of the sheet. You can list out all the frequencies, because we've got 3 or 4 repeaters on 2 meter in this area that we can hop around to. So you can have more than just the 3, okay? And it's got the device and the frequency and channel, and then the purpose of the channel. If you remember, I said that our Bofang configuration has channel. It's channel 2. I checked it. It had channel 2 as the general 2-meter channel, and then channel 3 is the Amron net. All right, so you want to know what the purpose of each of these primary channels are, and then it's just got the next section is backup channels, establishing alternate frequencies of channels in case the primary channel fails. You know, there's no saying. I guarantee you that during the hurricane in North Carolina and Tennessee or Kentucky, I guarantee you that there were repeaters that were destroyed, and people that were depending on those devices were having to look for alternative frequencies and alternative repeaters to get to. There's no guarantee that if you're using a relay station that station is going to be there, right? So we want to have backups. We want to make sure we list these out so that everybody knows what to get to. All right, section 5. Emergency contact lists. Okay, the first section is local emergency numbers. Collect numbers of essential services and nearby family, like your family or extended family, people that you see. But you've got 2 columns here. You've got the service and the contact number. So on this one, I put phone tree contact. So who in the phone tree for your community are you supposed to contact, or your family? Because if you've got a large family, you may have the younger kids check in with an older kid, and then an older kid check in with the parents, right? And then we've got the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's department, the ambulance, and the hospital and clinic. Now, I can think of a whole bunch of other numbers and organizations that should go into this list. For example, the electric company, power lines are down. The water company, water main break. Your propane distributor or the local gas company, in case there's a leak or something happens. There's all sorts of different things, and it's going to vary where you live and what you have access to. And then the second section of that is regional national emergency contacts. Note contacts outside your immediate area. And so there's a national emergency hotline. I did not put the number down because I did not feel like looking it up. Come on. I keep clicking and getting, there we go. I keep getting a menu box. Okay, the next one is your out of area family contact. So if you have somebody that's outside the area, because remember, emergencies and natural disasters and SHTF aren't necessarily a small location. It could be a very large location. So you want somebody that's far enough away from you that a regional problem will not affect them, because you want to be able to contact people that are in a safe zone. And then local radio station frequency. So you want to find a local radio station that you trust, that you feel okay with, and put that number down there. Okay, folks, listen. My chat has apparently stopped. Nobody said anything for a bit, so I want to make sure if you guys are typing something. The last comment I have is the one from Hog saying okay for the question that was asked. If you're not seeing me reply, then that's why. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Nope, don't want that. I'm gonna go over to the channel and see if chat's going there, and I can read chat there. Give me 1 second, guys. Clicky clicky. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. It's hang on a second. Okay, there, stuff just popped up. Something funky was going on there. Want to make sure I'm able to kiss off. I want to make sure you guys are able to comment. I want to be able to answer questions. Well, thank you very much. I wouldn't say I'm a great teacher. I've had a little bit of experience in my professional career in teaching various subjects. You know, one of the things I wanted to do in another life was I wanted to get my Microsoft teaching certification so I could actually teach the Windows classes that they use to certify people. All right, the next section, section 6, equipment maintenance and backup power. Okay, this is an important section, guys. This section is really important because, okay, hold on a second. I got to address this. Dusty. We are students, and I probably should have said it whenever Hogs were on there. So we do not have a student teacher relationship in this conversation. All I'm doing with you is sharing my experience and my expertise, the information that I have. And the reason being is because if we set up a student teacher relationship, then I become the expert in the room, and I am not the expert. There are people that will pop into chat that have way more experience in a lot of subjects that I talk about, and we got to be able to have this back and forth and exchange of ideas. And this is something Tag and I have discussed this in length for many years. He's the one that brought this to my attention. Is that we aren't teaching people, we are sharing our experiences. And yes, Dusty, you can learn, and even Coyote Rabbit Coyote said he's learning something. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, so I want to make that clear. Anytime that we're up here talking with you, we are not teaching you. We are sharing our experience. And if somebody has a better way of doing things, then we are more than open to hearing them talk and speak about it. In fact, I encourage it. All right, now section 8, equipment maintenance and backup power. First section is battery management. List the batteries required for current battery stock. Now, this is something, this goes beyond a communications plan. This is something that is essential for any prep. You want to be able to power your equipment, and you want to have functional batteries. So you need to do an inventory, make sure that they're all good. You should routinely check if you've got portable devices. You should routinely check and make sure the batteries are fully charged and able to take a charge. Terminator says she's learning stuff. That's good. That's good. So, and in this, the columns are, you've got the device, you got the battery type, you've got the quantity needed, and you got the quantity in stock. The next section right here, alternative power sources. Note any backup charging options. Example given: solar charger, hand cranked. Those are the two most common ones. You know, I know people that have they've got these pedals that you can hook up to a generator, and you can make a 12 volt or 20 volt charge, and you can charge batteries with these things. They actually make a stand for a bike that you can set your bike up on and hook it up and generate stuff. So you know, solar power for your radios, and for phone charging, and a hand crank radio are the two most common ones, but there are more out there. You know, the one if anybody has access to old physical rehab equipment, they make a device that's got a resistor thing on it, but it's two hand cranks, and you sit in front of it and you crank like this, and it's exactly like the old hand crank battery options for the old field phones, for the old military radios. And I always thought if you could get a hold of one of those, you could turn it into a generator for your radios and all that. Plus, you stay in shape. It's a good workout. All right, section 7. family communications drills. Okay, this is a tough one. This is a tough one to get people on board with. You want to schedule drills, plan and track communication drills, and the three columns are the date, the type of drill, and the results. Any notes and results you have. Now, the reason why I say it's a hard one is because a lot of people, either they aren't bought into it or it's just an inconvenience. I know my family, when the kids were at home, if I shut the power off and ran a drill like a lot of people do, I would get murdered in my sleep. Seriously. Oh, hang on a second. Lynn says, assuming that whoever's talking is an authority turns off part of your brain. Yep, there's a book called Influence that has a chapter on it. Basically, respect authority, but realize it isn't perfect. Yeah, I think the realizing that authority is not perfect is a hallmark of a lot of people in the community. Rabbit says old treadmill motors, DC variable motors. Look them up. You know, but getting back to the section at hand. All right, getting people on board with making themselves uncomfortable and being and inconvenienced is a tough one. Uh, and we have to get people on board. Now, types of drills. I can think of a couple right off the top of my head. Power outage. We need to learn how to use our alternative communications. Take everybody's phone away and have them figure out how to communicate. Practice on the radio. The other one is a complete destruction of infrastructure, where you not only lose communication but you lose power, and you are not able to talk to anybody on your primary or back or secondary communication system, and you have to work on developing those backups communication systems. And Tamara's absolutely correct. The kids need to know how to get a hold of mom and dad in case of an emergency, and husbands and wives need to know how to get a hold of each other. It's the more viable communication that's going on, the better off everybody's going to be. The biggest killer in a SHTF situation is going to be not knowing stuff, uncertainty. It's going to generate fear. It's going to cause people to act in ways that are contrary to their best interest. So the more we're communicating in a clear and concise manner, timely manner, clear, concise, and timely, then the better off everybody is. Right? And you know what? Remember that phrase: clear, concise, and timely. That's what you're looking for in your communications plan. Let's see here. Section 8. Okay, this is the last section. We went through this really quickly, you guys. I appreciate all the attentiveness. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, fear and confusion are the biggest killers. The last section, notes and improvements. Write down any lessons learned from drills, notes on equipment usage, or ideas for improvement. Here's the deal, guys. Like any inventory, this gets done over and over and over. You want to write down what went wrong. Most importantly, you want to know what went wrong, because you need to be able to fix it. In the military, they have after action briefings. So anytime something happens, whether it's your family or your community or at your business, anytime something happens, an emergency happens, you need to have an after action meeting, and you need to identify what went right and what went wrong, and you need to do it as quickly as possible. And you need to understand something here. As you're doing this, two people can be standing side by side in a situation, and they will give you completely different descriptions of what happened. So this is why we want to get it as quickly as possible, because number one, we don't want memories to fade, and number two, as people start comparing notes on it, they start comparing their experiences. What'll happen is you'll get a modified version of what happened based on everybody's viewpoints coming together in one great big group. And there may be that one person that had the perfect angle on the situation and saw exactly what happened. All right. So another thing that's a killer in the preparedness circle is thinking that your stuff is unbreakable, that your plan is foolproof. You know what? Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the teeth, and that's where you get confusion. Yeah, memories are very unreliable as they age. Absolutely. Yeah, and this is another thing. You might want to. In the military, we were encouraged to carry around notebooks and to take notes and write down everything that happened, so that it was on paper in the way you first saw it, so that your memory doesn't change. You memories are not that reliable. What did Rabbit say? Oh, he's talking about his power supply. Hog says that they do that with their firearms training. Yep. No battle plan survives first contact. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay. And then at the bottom of the sheet, this worksheet helps your family stay prepared and informed in an emergency, establishing dependable network a dependable network to coordinate, communicate, and to stay safe. All right. Okay, let me get out of there, and I am back in full screen. Listen, guys, quick and easy. It's go download it. You can find it in our community page. You do have to have some sort of word reader to get it printed off. I'm a big proponent of hard copies, even though right now I don't have a lot of them. One thing, between the communications class that we gave and listening to Moo Buckaroo talk about threat analysis, and then the accident this weekend, I need to get on this. I need to get it and stop having it in electronic format. I need to get it into hard copy and into a binder so that I've got access to it in case something happens and I don't have electricity or I don't have electronic devices. And you should probably do the same thing. Making hard copies of everything is on my to-do list. Yep. Well, and we had a lot of hard copies. Here's something else. And we moved and we lost a lot of our documentation. I got no idea where some of the stuff is. But most of it's pertaining to the old house, so it's kind of irrelevant now. So I need to go through and I should have done this 3 years ago. Luckily, I've had time and nothing happened. But we can't depend on that going forward, guys. We need to move on it now. Tamara says young people don't want to do this. They think nothing bad will ever happen. Yeah, this is true. This is absolutely true. And a lot of old people are the same way. And even the people of faith feel that they don't need to prepare, even though the Bible, there's a great testimony to actually being prepared in the Bible. That you're driven to do it. Information is information, though. Yeah. And here's the deal. Here's the deal on information. If you don't have a communications plan, you remember as a kid playing the telephone game in school? If you don't have a communications plan and you don't have a way to enact it through your inventory and everything that you've done, what's going to happen is you're going to get the telephone game on a larger scale when your life may depend on it. This is why having a communications plan is extremely important, and understanding how and why it works the way it works. Skane says, actually, I think it could be kind of fun for young people if they could just get the small groups together. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things that as a community you should be doing. We are trying to do that here locally. In fact, there's some conversation of us having a work day and inviting all the young men in the community, the teenagers and early 20 somethings, and inviting them and involving them in it and putting them into not key positions but giving them important important jobs to do, and that way not only are they learning it, but they're also gaining experience and confidence. Okay, let's see. Let's go back up. I'm missing. Where is it? I am missing some stuff. Okay, Terminator says, Mr. G, when I had a house fire, my drills from when I worked for safety kicked in. I woke my husband and grandson in the darkness and took them to a window. I opened it and got them out to safety. Good for you. Practice. That right there. What Terminator just said is a great a great proposal to train. Skanes, actually, I think it could be. Oh, I already did that one. Skanes got a twofer. Kissoff says that's because parents protected them from everything when they needed to fall and pick themselves up. I'm guilty. Yeah, you know what? I think every Gen Xer is probably not every. I think most Gen Xers are probably guilty of that because of the way we grew up. We kind of wanted to protect our children a little more than maybe we should have. My kids got lucky, though. I let them fall down a lot. In fact, I pushed them down a couple of times. Oh, Dusty, I'm sorry to hear about that. Yep, the Bible says to prepare. We just did a Bible study on that. Dusty, we complain about our wreck and stuff, and we realize that what we went through really doesn't amount to a lot when compared to some other people's journeys. All right, guys, listen. We've been at this for about 37 minutes. Do you guys have any questions on the communications plan or the inventory that we talked about? Again, the link, if you're new to the channel or you watch this, the link to the video that we're speaking about, the communications plan video, is down below. You can go watch that and see for yourself, or you can just download the outline. Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow isn't promised. That's why we need to prepare now, right? We'll buy insurance, but we won't buy preparedness. Well, we will. I know everybody in the chat will, but as a society, that's the way it works out. All right, listen. The next video on this, I think I'm going to make this a three-part series because I was doing some further research and looking at some things. One of the things in the inventory list was phrases and code words and stuff. I think the next video we're going to talk about common radio terminology and phrases, the Q codes, and go over the phonetic alphabet for people that don't understand it. I think it's important because you need to know this stuff, because if you get on a net during a time of emergency, you're going to start hearing terms that you're not familiar with. And just having a passing understanding, you don't have to be able to be an expert in the language, but you need to be able to have a conversation, and that's what we're going to shoot for. Okay, Lynn's got a question. Beginner question: how do I find homesteaders and preppers in my area? Funny thing you should ask that, Lynn. There is a website called freesteading.com. It is a free speech alternative to Facebook, and it was started by tagging some other people in our community. Last time I checked, there were about 100,000 members on the site. They've got forums on there. Basically any homesteading or prepping topic you can think of. But the important thing about the site, they've got a state forum page, and for every single state and foreign countries and U.S. territories, there is a specific forum for each one of those locations. So you would go to the Iowa State page. Oops, I'm sorry. I think you mentioned that. Anyway, you would go to your state page and check in. Let everybody know who you are. Give them however much information you want to give them, and then just start communicating, start a conversation. Yeah, I do too. I do too, Rabbit. I was thinking about that the other day. I got sidetracked this summer, and I quit posting for a while, but I need to get back into it. But yeah, you get on there and introduce yourself. Doesn't guarantee you're going to meet anybody that's long term, or that's going to develop, but it starts the conversation. All right, so that's a good place. Freesteading.com. Could somebody that's a moderator in YouTube go ahead and post that in the comments so that Lynn can see that, and anybody that doesn't know about it can see it. So that's about it. So I'm going to try to do it next Wednesday. No guarantee. Got to see how things pan out. I'm also working on developing the risk analysis presentation that Moo Buckaroo. Yes, that is his community nickname, and he earned it. He earned it in a real solid way. But Moo Buckaroo gave a fantastic risk presentation for the community. I'm going to share that with you guys. She's doing good. She's not resting like she should. She got some rest today, but she's up right now. We've got the community garage sale. Thank you, Skanes. We've got the community garage sale starting tomorrow, and she is up cooking pies and cookies and stuff, and getting ready to do that. Try to make some of the money that we didn't make at SOE this weekend, and fill in that gap. But she's getting better, slowly but surely. Pig-headed as always. She's not doing what she's supposed to, because she thinks that these things need to be done. What can you do, right, guys? And like I said, I'm very hypocritical on this, because like I said, I poured a concrete slab 3 days after my first heart attack. So I'm really, really in bad position to say something about it. But I'm going to, because I'm her husband, and I need to take care of her. All right, guys. Listen. No late girls' night live for us tomorrow night, because we have a county commissioners meeting, which should be pretty enjoyable, because I'm in a mood and I just want to screw with people. So I'm gonna figure out what to screw with them about. So much. They give me so much ammo. Hey, there's somebody who hasn't been on for a while. I'm gonna give you a call whenever I get off here. By the way, Ian, I'm gonna call you. Yeah, Tamara, it's easy to get out. It's easy to get out of the habit of getting on freesteading. We need to stay in touch. Yes, I do eat crowns. You know what? Red is my favorite flavor. Red is my favorite flavor. Let's see here. Terminator says she may be thinking it's helping herself in her own way. I know, but I would like to see her take care of herself better. But, all right, guys, listen. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope that the information that I shared with you helps you put together a better communications plan for you, your family, and your community. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact us. We appreciate you all. And as always, I need you guys to take care of yourselves, and I need you to go out tomorrow and live a life done free.
In a world without rule of law, where society hangs by a thread and chaos reigns supreme, there emerges a beacon of survival and strength. Introducing Without Rule of Law, a deck of 300 emergency preparedness survival scenarios to help people navigate this lawless realm. They cover survival topics from self-defense to resource management strategies and more. Get on the same frame of mind as those around you.
Tough times never last, but tough people do.